На данный момент в диапазоне 25 метров, хорошее прохождение.
Thanks, Dr. Wang. Dr. Anderson, let's shift gear to the factors of the United States. Following the incident, some reports say
Итак, это, наверное, CGTN, Международное радио Китая на английском языке.
that have peace agreements with Israel and asked them to condemn Hamas actions. But it appears that the U.S. efforts were not successful. Reports suggest that including this recent conflict indirectly reflects the decline of U.S. influence in the region in the Middle East. How do you interpret this analysis?
I think that's true. There is a great decline in influence. It will be talking, of course, to the Arab regimes with which it's closer, or those that collaborate more closely, many of whom have already
Диапазон 25 метров, короткий.
with the Israeli regime. The Saudis, for their part, mentioned before, have actually moved farther away from the idea of normalization. They've been playing a type of game. Of course, they've been talking with the Israelis, but they know that in the Arab world they will lose prestige massively if they move to normalization. And this, of course, this recent conflict has raised the stakes there. They've moved farther away from normalization in recent days, basically because they say, as they must, if they want to represent the Arab world in any sort of way, that they have to be a just solution for the Palestinians. Now, the problem is, going back to the two states there, is that there's never been a sincere attempt at it, really. The current Israeli regime rejects it. The US, for its part, and the British and most of the NATO groups have been arming and funding the current Israeli regime to taking the land, to demolish houses in East Jerusalem, for example, to leaving very tiny amounts of land in the hands of Palestinians, a not viable state. They've destroyed it in the way that was destroyed in South Africa. So with now, it may be that the Palestinian Authority still has some legacy with that idea of the idea of 1967 borders or two states, but really the resistance factions who are now raising attacks on the Israelis, not just out of Gaza, but also in Nablus, in the West Bank, in Jenin, in other parts of Palestine, realise that there's no possible future of two states. And the Netanyahu regime, of course, has rejected it because it said that the Palestinians don't exist, and they want the whole of historic Palestine as part of Israel. So this idea of two states is an idea that is time has passed, basically.
So, looking ahead, many experts suggest the conflict has a far-reaching impact and will further expand to regional instability, profoundly influence the regional geopolitical landscape as a catalyst of the reconciliation process in the Middle East. Do you agree with this perspective? How do you foresee the region in the near future?
Well, I think there's a reshaping going on. There's a reshaping going on, and Palestine is at the heart of it, really. It began with the decline of US influence, with the rise of the influence of Iran in the region. Iran is one of the key sponsors. It's not as though the Palestinian war is of Iran, but Iran is providing them with